It's Randy Orton. Oh!
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Beatler here, and today I'm coming back with a long-awaited episode of WWE Missed Opportunities. Haven't done this series for, ages. I think the last episode was probably October or November time, which is crazy. Doesn't feel that long ago. But anyway, let's get on with the video. Today's topic will be on, well, not topic, but today's wrestler, I should say, Christian. Now, I think Christian was a guy who was definitely very talented, and he's definitely one of my favourite, all-time wrestlers. If you watched my top 30 wrestlers video from last year, you would see that he was on that list. I think he made the top 20. He was around thereabouts. So I really like Christian. I think he definitely had great in-ring ability. He's has great charisma. Obviously, hence the name Captain Charisma. And I think he had the tools to really become a main eventer in the WWE. Not necessarily like the guy, but he could have been a main eventer and maybe a star. If given the chance, but he was never really given that chance in my eyes. So Christian started off as a tag team wrestler with Edge, and that's kind of how he got the success he did. Was by teaming with Edge, and they had some great matches. The ladder matches, the TLC matches with the Hardys and Dudleys. That really put them on the map, in my opinion. And when they did split up in 2001, Christian went out on his own, as did Edge, and Christian became a nice mid-card heel, I should say. He held some mid-card belts for a few years, around 2000, 2003, 2004. I think in 2003 he kind of got lost in the shuffle a bit on the mid-card on Raw, but I'd say by 2004 that's when he really picked up with the feud with Jericho. I really like that feud. I definitely think it's a very underrated feud, and an underrated WrestleMania match as well, in my opinion. And I think this is when Christian started to come into his own as a heel. He helped put over Shelton Benjamin in late 2004 as well, so I thought that was good as well. By 2005, that's when Christian really came on and really came into his own. I think that's really when he took it up a notch from 2004. And I think that was the time to put Christian into the Raw main event scene. And he did have a WWE title match in a triple threat with Cena and Jericho at Vengeance, actually. And that was a really good match, actually. I think that should have been the opportunity to put Christian into that main event scene. Unfortunately, Vince just didn't see him as a main eventer, and I think that really frustrated Christian. So he left and went to TNA, where he proved that he could hang in the main event scene. Obviously, I never really watched TNA, apart from a brief period in like 2013, so I can't really say much about it. But from what I've heard, he was good, really good in TNA. Really proved himself, had some great matches. So that's all I really know, to be honest. But when he came back in 2009, they were initially going to put him into a feud with Jeff Hardy, because they had the whole Jeff Hardy this person was ruining Jeff Hardy's life in and outside the ring, and it was originally going to be Christian, but because basically internet spoilers revealed that it was going to be Christian, Vince decided to change his mind, which I think was pretty stupid, not going to lie. I think they should have just gone with it anyway, because I think it could have been a really good feud. Instead they went with Matt Hardy, and it was just a bit anticlimactic, in my opinion. So instead Christian went on the ECW brand, which, to be honest, it wasn't the worst thing. Like, Christian did kind of carry that brand. The only real good talents on that brand at the time was him, Regal, Dreamer. That's about it, really. That's kind of who comes to mind. I think Christian really did carry that ECW brand. One of the better new the WWE ECW champions. But when the ECW brand did die in 2010, it was nice to see Christian put onto SmackDown. But unfortunately, he didn't really do much. And then sort of got injured, which is a shame. But then he did come back in 2011, and that's when he started to get sort of a main event push on SmackDown. After Edge retired, he won the World Heavyweight Championship, and all was looking great. And I thought it'd be, they're going to give Christian a nice world title run, but nope. They basically just threw it away. They made him lose the title 5 days later, which was really frustrating. I will say the matches he had with Randy Orton were really good. You know, they had some great matches. Over the Limit, Capital Punishment, the SmackDown where Orton won the belt, Steel Cage match, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. So they had some really good matches, but it just made Christian look so weak. Like, he won the belt, lost it to Orton. Orton then beat him over the Limit, and then lost to him at Capital Punishment. Granted, there was some poor refereeing, so that continued the feud, I guess. But the way Christian won the belt was just completely idiotic in my opinion. I just think like having him win the belt on a DQ was just really stupid, and like it wouldn't have been that bad, I guess, if they'd like had the match at SummerSlam and Christian proved that he could beat Orton. But he lost. He lost the world title again, and after only holding it for a month, so that was really frustrating. And then after that, Christian just sort of he went into a feud with Sheamus, and then just dropped the and just sort of got injured, and then came back in 2012, got the IC belt, which was nice. I thought maybe he'd have a nice run. Lost it fairly soon afterwards to Miz, and then got injured again. Starting to notice a reoccurring theme here in Christian's later run. Then he came back in 2013 and feuded with Del Rio for the world title for a bit. I was really hoping they'd put the belt on him, to be honest. I think it would have been nice to give Christian a nice little run that was over a month, but unfortunately that never happened, which is a shame. And then he got injured again, came back in 2014, competed in the Chamber match, and he got injured again, and that was the last we ever saw of him, which was a real shame. I think Christian really had the potential to become a main eventer in WWE around the 2005 period. I think, he potentially, if he'd stayed and say if Vince actually did see something in him as a main eventer, I think you could maybe had him feud with like Kurt Angle instead of having that Kurt Angle Eugene feud. I just wasn't huge on that. I think it would be better if maybe a Christian versus Kurt Angle, maybe Christian's the face. Maybe have Angle win because he was going to go on to face Cena for the WWE title, but I think that could have maybe been a fun feud to see. I just think Christian had all the tools really to be a top guy in the WWE, but they just never really gave him the opportunity. And when they kind of did on SmackDown in 2011, he was just injury prone at that point, which is a real shame because I think Christian deserved a lot better. He did have a good career looking back on all his achievements, but I really think he could have been a top main eventer. I think he could have had the success that Edge had, but just was never really given the opportunity, unfortunately. I think, I think he was just, at the wrong place at the wrong time, because there was so much talent on that roster at the time, around that 05 Ruthless Aggression era period, so I think that's probably why he lost out, but I definitely think he could have hung in the main event scene with a lot of those guys. But then I think when he did come back, it was just too late. He was just a lot older, a lot more injury prone, and unfortunately he had to retire. I don't know. I always thought they could have done more with Christian. So I hope you guys enjoyed this return of WWE Missed Opportunities. Let me know who you want me to do in the comment section below. I'm considering a few people at the minute, but obviously if you've got some ideas, I'll take them into mind. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys.